John Mateer and the Oklahoma Sooners host Harold Perkins and the LSU Tigers in a huge SEC showdown. Oklahoma with an opportunity to go to the college football playoff with a win at home. This game is at Norman. I don't know if the stakes get much higher than this one. This Oklahoma team, if you ask them and you had the opportunity to go into the back half of the year, chances to beat the Alabama Crimson Tide and to beat the Tennessee Volunteers, both of them on the road, and put yourself in this position. I would not have believed it just staring down a couple of weeks ago after they lost to Ole Miss and lost to Texas. The injury status of John Mateer has looked like he has been a little bit better in recent weeks. Now, I have to let you know, I'm recording this video before Oklahoma's game against Missouri. I don't know the status of that game. Oklahoma's favored. I believe they're better. We don't really know if Bro Perbila is going to play. I'm assuming that they win this game. Now, I apologize if they don't, and this game does not have college football playoff implications because with an Oklahoma win, they're in a position to win and get to the college football playoff. With a loss, they would not be in, but I believe that they will win that game. They've got a good enough defense to be able to pull it off. Against this LSU Tiger team, we still don't really know. I mean, I don't know who's playing quarterback for the Tigers this upcoming week after Van Buren was their starter this past week against Arkansas for that game and for me watching that one. So I'm assuming that LSU is not going to have great quarterback play in this game, whether it be Garrett Nussmeier, whether it be Michael Van Buren Jr., and they haven't ran the football all that well the entire season against the top 5 defense on the road. You can start to see where I'm going with this one. A healthier John Mateer as the weeks go on, and this does look like a game that Oklahoma should be able to win. Now, of course, it is not always that simple. This Oklahoma team, well, when they don't turn the football over, they can rely on their defense, and they are able to have some semblance of a run game, whether or not John Mateer becomes Superman and puts the cape on. They're one of the toughest teams in the country to beat. But against Texas, Mateer turning the ball over and not being able to run the ball against Ole Miss, not being able to stop that offense at times either, you're looking at an Oklahoma team that can get beat on any given Saturday. Now, where it starts is this running attack. So let's start with the Oklahoma offense against the LSU defense, which is a good defense. There were talks about this LSU team having the best defense in the country the first couple of weeks of the season with West Weeks and Harold Perkins Jr. and Mansoor Delane, who I believe is the best cornerback in the country this year. And it hasn't turned out that way. They haven't been healthy. Weeks, unfortunately, with that ankle, he's wound up missing a whole bunch of time. One of the more talented players. This is an opportunity for him to play in this game. I don't really know if he will be available for them. His brothers played pretty well in his absence and throughout the season when they were both on the field at the same time. But look, Oklahoma, if they couldn't run the football well against Alabama, and I would argue that LSU's defense is as good, if not better, than the Tides, I would say that Oklahoma is going to struggle running the football against LSU. My initial thought on this game, I think about LSU, Oklahoma. If it's at Oklahoma, I think this is an Oklahoma win, 24-17. Initially, about a 7-point victory for the Sooners in this one at home. Can John Mateer muster enough that many points? I really believe that they can hold LSU to less than that, especially if they can maintain time of possession. They can march the football down the field and actually get Xavier Robinson going. If they can get Torrey Blaylock going. John Mateer being able to scramble 8-9 times and do it himself. Because let's be honest, at this point in the season, these are all playoff games for Oklahoma. John Mateer, doesn't matter if it's the first quarter, 1st and 10, or if it's the fourth quarter, 4th and goal from the 3-yard line. He's got to barrel through 2 defenders to get into the end zone. Health is not an issue, not a concern. You got to go out there and make any play available to you that is possible. He's one of the guys that can't do that. It's talked about that lower half of John Mateer, very stable through his legs and a very strong kid, built well. And against this LSU team, I am fascinated by his matchup going against the talented Harold Perkins Jr., who, let's be honest, has not performed to the level that was imagined he would this year coming off the ACL. You'd have to go back to the full 2 years ago to where Perkins and that Jaden Daniels team that didn't really have a chance because of how bad the defense was. Just imagine if LSU had a good defense like they have this season. Blake Baker has done a terrific job. They have fallen off from where they were, let's just say, the first 5-6 weeks of the season. But I really do see Oklahoma not running the football well on the Tigers. And a lot of that has to do with the interior, the offensive line against that LSU front. Now, for Mateer to really be able to have success in handing the football off, a lot of that is going to be dependent on how are they able to attack an aggressive LSU defense. You'd imagine that they're going to come out with a mindset that they're going to stack the box and contain that Oklahoma run game. Say, we're going to take that away and make your wide receiving core beat us. Now, they brought in guys that they have talent at the wide receiving core. You just haven't seen an explosion throughout the year. For goodness sake, John Mateer threw the ball for 138 yards, and they wind up beating the Tide from 2-3 takeaways in that game. Mateer didn't turn the football over. It's very simple. If John Mateer doesn't turn the football over, the chances that Oklahoma can win games are sky high. I would argue they're probably going to be 80% or higher in no matter which game it is. If they go to the national championship game, for all that matter, whoever they're playing, if they don't turn the football over, as good as they play defense, maybe unless they play Ohio State, they'll have a great chance to win. I mean, that defense and the way they play, they might be able to limit an Oklahoma team to like 3 or 6 points, and that would be a very tough test. But besides them, I don't know if there's another team that Oklahoma, in not turning the football over, that they're just going to lose to. That defense is just too good, and you put them in good enough spots, they're going to execute at a high level. And we're looking to see if Mason Thomas is back into the lineup for the Sooners. That's a critical injury thing for him. I wish I could know whether or not he plays against Missouri this upcoming week. Not having him against Alabama, still, they're able to sack Ty Simpson a couple of times, and they have a couple of tackles for loss, but they had that key fumble that goes backwards. They recover the football. I believe it wound up leading to a field goal, but that you add that to the pick six, and the Oklahoma team was put in a position to succeed, shorter field, and precisely in a spot to be able to win that game. Ty Simpson inaccurate over the middle of the field. Now, why I believe that this is a simple pick to take the Sooners, a road win at Bama, and then you comparatively look at the way this LSU team played at Bama, they got emphatically beaten. They did not handle the end of the first half well. It was a 10-3 game. LSU had the football with around 2 minutes left. They tried a couple of passes, incompletions. Ty Simpson got the football back with about 1 minute and 30 seconds. There's a bomb down the field, and boom. 17-3 football game. It's over. It's over at that point. You're not coming back from 14 on the road in primetime Tuscaloosa. No shot. There's no way you're coming back in that game. Not with the way this offense has been. The one-dimensional style, and even being one-dimensional, they weren't having any traction from that. So game management's even being a critical mistake there. The inability to run the football. You think they're going to run the football against this Oklahoma front? You're not being realistic if you believe that. This Oklahoma defense is so good from those linebackers behind it in that front four. There's 6-7 guys within this core. If there's one part of that defense that you can attack, I would argue it's the secondary. And LSU has those types of players to put me in a little bit of a conflict now with Xavier Thomas, Barry and Brown, Anderson, both the Andersons. This is a still high quality top 10 without a doubt. We're coming into the year believing this is a top 10, top 5 roster even in college football with all of that talent, a returning starting quarterback, a defense that was looking to be in the trajectory to be as good as they have been this year. And then the offensive line can't block for squat. And they're not able to protect their quarterback, and they can't generate any sense of penetration up front to run the football. And so my prediction for this game, don't believe that you will be all that surprised, is Oklahoma with a win 24-16. It's my belief that this team will have a bit of some mojo. You got a game to win. It's at home, Norman. Chance to go to the playoff on the line, presumably. Man, this is an environment that Oklahoma fans have been waiting for. That team that lost to Georgia in the Rose Bowl game. Man, what was that already? 5 years ago? 4 years ago? Or man, no, that would have been longer. That was about 8. I think that was 2017, 2018, losing to the Dogs in that Rose Bowl game, down to the wire, a blocked field goal, Baker Mayfield, and what it comes down to. That's how long it's been. It's been that long since Oklahoma's had a playoff caliber team. This team has a much better defense than what that team had. You're like, man, if only Oklahoma had that Lincoln Riley type of offense that ran the football well and had some weapons and a Heisman Trophy caliber a quarterback. But still, this Oklahoma team is national caliber worthy without the turnovers and the defense doing exactly what they have. So 24-16 may surprise you in the sense of that many points from this LSU team, especially this late in the year in this type of game. But you could still see how tough it will be for this Oklahoma team to limit LSU. Even at their baseline, these wide receivers are still such a talented group, and holding them to 16 points, I think that Sooner fans would take. That just means 2 touchdowns and a field goal. In 10-11 possessions, can you muster John Mateer going down the field to produce 2 touchdowns and a field goal, even unless they're able to create a turnover with a short field, a defensive score, special teams, and different ways that they can get that done. So I want to hear from all of you. Let me know down below in the comments whether or not you believe Oklahoma gets this win, punches their ticket to the college football playoff, and gets into the dance. That's what it's all about. And then you've got a shot. It's 4 games. Whoever they would play in the first round, that would be some absolute popcorn. I want to hear from you guys. I tried to get down there and engage with everyone. So let me know your thoughts on this game overall. Or can LSU pull an upset and put a dagger through the heart of all Oklahoma players and their fans with this one? I appreciate you so much for watching LSU videos I've made throughout the season. We started with Clemson, Oklahoma throughout the year. There's been some huge games that we've previewed and broken down, notably Alabama being a tough one that I predicted they would be very tight in that game. I didn't think they'd win. I don't think a lot of you thought they would either. That was a huge surprise, going back to their game against Texas from that defeat and previewing their game against Tennessee. And this team battling through it all towards where they are right now. You have to love that. But it is college football playoff season coming right around the corner after this Thanksgiving holiday. So I really hope you have a great Thanksgiving holiday and a great time with loved ones. Wishing you safe travels. And then it's happy conference championship weekend. And as we get ready for the college football playoff, I'll continue to be breaking down and predicting all of the conference title games, all of the college football playoff games, and then the rest of the big NFL games the rest of the season. So if you love college football, NFL, make sure to stay tuned and subscribe to Blitz with Blender. I'm Josh Blender. I make NFL and college content weekly, getting you set and ready for this game and these huge matchups that we all love and enjoy. So I appreciate you so much for watching, and I will see everybody next time.
Best player in college football.
That Georgia and Ohio State game, New Year's Eve, is going to be a classic.
Josh Blender, hi everybody, I'm Josh Blender.
To the 40, 35, 30, Espinosa to the 20.